Hopefully my camera don't fall. But what's up, guys? My name is Christopher Garcia, and I'm creating this YouTube channel to document my lifts, my eating habits, the way to give y'all advice on lifting. I'm 19 years old, so for all the teens out there, I can provide y'all with a lot of powerlifting advice and shit like that. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about me. I'm 19 years old. I just turned 19 about 1.5 months ago. So we're gonna go over my high school career. In freshman year, I was a wrestler and a cross-country runner, and I was a mere 145 pounds. So right now I weigh 335. I was literally over half the size that I am right now. That's crazy when you think about it. But so I was a wrestler, cross-country runner. I did no weightlifting at all. All I did was run and train, body weight, things like that for about a year and a half until the middle of sophomore year. That's when I started getting into weightlifting because my friend Aiden Kilbane, he introduced me into weightlifting. So I guess you could say thank you to Aiden. I don't really talk to him that much anymore, but he brought me to where I am right now. I wouldn't be where I am now, so just, thank you to him. So halfway into sophomore year, I weighed about 160 pounds. I quit wrestling and I quit cross-country running, and I didn't really do any sports except, after school I would go weightlifting for, 2.5 hours. And around then, it was still all about, getting big biceps, getting stronger for arm wrestling in the lunchroom, things like that. I mean, how many push-ups, pull-ups you could do. Strength wasn't really, anything then. And then about junior year is when I started getting serious about weightlifting. I went from 165 to 180 pounds. And then that's when I started getting into bodybuilding, shaping, getting, really good chest, shoulders, legs, stuff like that. I mean, I still have baby calves, but team no calves, Omar. It still wasn't all that serious. I mean, I was a pretty boy bodybuilder. We all know what those are. I was a tool. But at the very end of my junior year, I don't really want to say why now. Maybe I'll make another video about it. But I went into depression because of a multitude of reasons, and that's when I really started getting into powerlifting. Not powerlifting, but lifting heavy. I didn't start getting into powerlifting until the middle of my senior year. But so junior year, at the very end, that's when I started gaining weight and lifting for strength. I went from 180 pounds to 235 to 240 pounds in 2.5 months until school started again. So my senior year, I weighed 200. In the very beginning of my senior year, I weighed 235 pounds. And halfway into my senior year, I moved to McKinney, but I went to Prosper High School. And that's when I really started my powerlifting career, I guess. It started December 2015? 2016. No. December 2015. That's when I did my first powerlifting practice. Yeah. It was deadlift. I've never deadlifted before, which is kind of crazy. That's probably why my deadlift is still so shitty right now. But December 2015 was where I had my first powerlifting practice. And then 4 months later, I went on to go to the Texas State Championships for powerlifting, and I weighed 274 pounds. So from the beginning of senior year, I went from 235 to 274 at the end of my senior year, and unfortunately I got ninth place I was still very new to the sport, very new to, not all three lifts, but powerlifting is all about technique. I mean, let's not bullshit ourselves. It really is. And I still didn't have good technique. I was still a beginner. I still right now consider myself a beginner, maybe going into intermediate. But I placed 9th place in Texas State Championships, which, it really sucked. But it humbled me because all throughout the hallways in high school, people would be like, oh my gosh, you're huge, you're strong, you're like the strongest kid. So that really humbled me and got me to be disciplined again. So that summer, I went up to 300 pounds, and my bench was at, I believe, it was like at 405, which is not that impressive raw. My squat was 585, still not impressive. And then my deadlift was at 585 too. So from there to here, let's just skip all that. I went from 300 pounds to 335 pounds, which is what I am now. Right now, I squat 215 pounds raw. And it was pretty easy. I know that I can do a lot more now. That was months ago. I benched 465 pounds. I've attempted more, but I keep on failing just because I get cocky. And then my deadlift is at 639 pounds, which I just did in a meet. So right now I'm preparing for the Clash of the Barbarians in October, sometime in October. So a bunch of the videos from now till then will be about my peaking phase and how I peak up to the meet. And yeah, so if y'all want any advice, just leave it down in the comments. A lot of the videos, like I said, are going to be just me getting ready for that meet, how I eat, and just advice, you know what I'm saying? So I hope you like it. If you do, stay tuned. I'll be putting out videos 2-3 times a week in the beginning. So yeah, stay tuned, homies.